Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. It is super windy, but we are out on location today, so we are going to have a little wind noise. There's no way we can do it, but I wanted to show you exactly where we found this old 57 Ford Convertible. Out here on this old creek bank. Getting ready to hook onto it. Hopefully we can get it pulled away from this tree and get it drug up out of here. Kind of sitting right there against it, almost like it grew into it. Not a lot left of this car, but a lot of the convertible stuff is here. So that's obviously some good pieces. Just going to be a little tricky to get her out of here and get her loaded up. Only it's kind of sitting down here on this old creek embankment. So anyway, we're going to get to work, see if we can get this thing pulled up out of here, get her loaded on the trailer. We'll get her hauled back to the yard, and then we can take a little bit better look at this old 57 Ford. Well, we've got this old 57 Ford Convertible hauled into the yard, and it's rough, just like we expected. But I've got that 57 Mercury Pace Car Convertible that we need to get ready to shoot a video on. I just haven't done yet. So when I came across this car, I went ahead and picked it up. I think all the convertible stuff is there for the Mercury Pace Car, but I figured a lot of this stuff might interchange. I was like, you know, if there's a couple little pieces going off that Mercury, it would be a good idea to have this 57 Ford sitting here. So that's why I went ahead and picked that and brought it in. But like we said, it's rough and there's not a heck of a lot here. Now, I did send the data plate to our good friend Phil. We looked at it right here on the door jamb, and he did tell me this car was a factory 312 car, but not a lot here. But I bet in its day, it was a pretty sharp car. You know, black 312 V8 Ford. In its day, this would have been a pretty good looking car. Just obviously, it's been sitting outside and been neglected for a lot of years. But there's still a lot of pieces here, and there's a lot of convertible pieces here. So let's go ahead and check this thing out. Now, as we saw, pretty much all the nose is gone out of it. No grill, no front bumper. All the nose is pretty much gone. Now these front fenders that are on the car, at least this one, this fender was green, so it's been replaced. And really, this is a pretty decent looking fender. It looks solid up around the headlights. Got just a little bit of rust starting to come through down there, but since that fender was replaced, obviously it's been pretty well preserved. The other front fender, it's also been replaced. It was a green one also, probably came off the same car. However, it is dented up a little bit from being down around those trees for all those years. So there's even actually an extra fender inside the car. Don't know what the story was with that, but that's where it was at. Exhaust manifold laying down there. But the important part about this car, as we come back around here towards the back, this is the important stuff. This is why I bought it. Like I said, I think that Mercury has all this stuff, but when I had the opportunity to buy this car, I have the Mercury Pace Car sitting here, getting ready to sell, I thought it would be a good idea just to have this thing here. So we can see the top assembly is all here. These latches are here. It's got a little bit of rust in the top assembly, but the pieces are here. We see these side pop metal runners, they're not broke. We see some of these other pop metal pieces down here inside. The top weld are not broke. We can see the rear quarter window is still here, which means those guts are still down in there for the rear quarter windows for a convertible. That was the important stuff. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get this car. All this boot molding all around the back, all still here. That was my primary objective of getting this Ford here. Plus, there's still a lot of other good pieces on it as well. But I figure if that Mercury needs a couple little things, it's great having this here. Now, one thing that shocked me about this car, the guy that I bought this car from, he actually found it a while back down in Oklahoma, which kind of surprised me because when he told me about it and I went to look at it, even though he found the car in Oklahoma, it actually has Barton County, Kansas plates, which is actually where we are located. Last tagged in 1967 when this car was 10 years old, but actually at some point in this old Ford's life, it was from right here apparently, because it was tagged in Barton County. Now, I don't know anything about it, don't know any history on the car. All I know is he found it down in Oklahoma. He dropped it at his place. It sat there for a while, and that's where I picked it up. So could be interesting, being at what is more than likely a local car from here at some point in its life. But the rest of this old car, it's led a pretty tough life. We can see the quarters are pretty banged up. One thing about this car, there is not an excessive amount of rust in it. It does have a little rust in it, but structurally the old body doesn't look terrible. It's just been banged up and weathered and hasn't been very well taken care of over the years. But once again, over here we see these pop metal runners on the top, not busted. This pop metal structure down here, not busted. Top latch. We've got some of the stainless for around the windshield frame. A lot of the inside trim, all still here around the windshield frame for the convertible top frame. All super hard to find, unique pieces for a convertible. We do actually have the left door still here. Actually has the two-door side moldings on it. Vent window assembly looks pretty good. Rear bumper is still laying down here inside the car with brackets. And I don't know if there's anything under the door or not, because honestly, I've never looked. So let's see if there's any other bits and pieces in here. Not much hiding under there. We've got some other pieces here. This is rusty, but it's fixable. This would have actually gone right here and covered up some of the top mechanism. The other side, we can see it over here on the other side. It is still here on the other side, even still has the molding on it. Both of the lower panels are here, which are convertible specific pieces, ashtrays in them, and this is all meant to cover up around this convertible top assembly. So good to have those pieces here as well. There again, that's why I bought this car, was making sure the convertible pieces are going to be around to fix that Mercury convertible. So anyhow, there she is. Not a lot here, but the important, hard to find stuff is, and that's why we added this 57 to inventory. On top of the fact that I didn't have any 57 Fords here, believe it or not. All the cars and trucks I've got here, with a couple thousand cars on the trucks and on the ground, I did not have one 57 Ford car here prior to this. I've got several 58s, including a retract, but 57s had just kind of eluded me, just hadn't come up with any. So not only do we have extra convertible parts just in case the Mercury needs something, and like I said, the Mercury, I think it's all there. So most of this is probably going to be duplicate, but when I had the opportunity to buy this car, I went ahead and grabbed it primarily for that reason. But there's going to be a lot of extra convertible pieces available. There's some of the extra two-door pieces available that are going to be specific to the Ford, like the trim. So just being able to go ahead and finally add a 57 to inventory was definitely a good thing. It's just kind of odd that the first 57 I added to inventory actually happened to be a convertible. That doesn't happen very often. But still kind of a cool old car with a lot of good pieces left on it, even though there's not a lot here. So anyway, there's the old 57 Ford convertible. That's why we've got it, and that's what's left of it as far as what's still going to be usable on this car. If you got any questions about this 57 Ford or any of the other 2,000 cars and trucks we've got here on the ground at Nobody Else's Auto, just give me a call. 620-786-4428. Having a short conversation about your project, year, make, model, body style, the parts you need, or all that specific information if you're looking for a certain project. With the amount of vehicles I've got here, I need all that information to know if I can help you out with something. So just give me a shout. Be happy to have that conversation, see if we can figure something out. If you like old cars, you like old trucks, you like old memorabilia, be sure to check out the channel, Nobody's Show. It's about all we do on here. We have a lot of fun doing it. I think you'll enjoy it. So be sure to check out some of those other videos and definitely click that subscribe button so you can start hanging out with us. We do some fun live stuff on here. You don't want to miss any of that either. So hope you enjoyed the old Ford. Stay tuned. We got a lot more cool stuff coming up. 39 Ford, 55 Ford fuel truck. We've got some Chevy trucks coming up, some Dodge trucks, a lot of killer old cars that you're not going to want to miss. So stay tuned. Lots more cool stuff coming up. Thanks for watching this video, and we sure hope to see you soon on the next one.